For those of you who are immigrant children, this is a story that will make you laugh, I think. My parents and I moved to Australia when I was only a wee little laddie, and when we first came, we didn't have any money because when parents immigrate from another country, they spend all their money on the immigration process and got to find a new house, and you probably don't have a job. The first few years is usually a massive struggle, but when you get past the point, when you start having something, one of the things that linger is the desire or the belief that it's really important always to save money, because at some point in the last few years, money was super scarce. You came from a place where you were doing okay, and then you moved to a new country and you start from fresh and you don't have any money. So you're at the point where money is really, really scarce. And then you come to this new place and you discover this thing called buffets. This is like the nirvana. This is like an oasis in the middle of the desert. This is the thing that you've always dreamed of. What sort of place where you pay a certain amount of money and you can eat whatever you want, however much you want, and no one's going to judge you. No one's going to say anything. They actually encourage you to eat as much as you want. And coming from the background that I come from, there was always, when I was a kid and we went to these buffets, there was always this theory that it's almost like a tactic where you don't eat for many meals before that, so that your stomach is completely empty and you basically starve in Marvin. And you go to these buffets and you eat as much as you possibly humanly can. And when you can't eat anymore, you take a break and you eat more, because you've paid this amount of money. Whether you eat 2 plates or whether you eat 8 plates, it still costs the same amount of money. And the bonus that you get with that is the fact that once you've eaten this much, you can save more money because you don't have to eat dinner or you don't have to eat breakfast next morning because you're still full. It's a win-win situation when you think along those lines. One of the things I was always told when I was at buffets is always eat the expensive stuff. Go for the prawns, go for the seafood, go for the meat. You don't want to spend all your stomach space on things like bread, pasta, spring rolls, all this cheap stuff that you can get easily and very cheaply at the supermarket. You want to eat the expensive stuff, and you want to eat a lot of it because you want to get your money's worth. It's almost like a competition where you want to put these restaurants out of business because you want to eat so much that they're going to lose money every time they see you. You want to almost get just short of the point that when they see you make a booking or when you walk in the door, they want to not let you in. So that's just a funny story. It's always something that I always think fondly of my childhood. Like when you go to these cheap buffets that you've just got to eat everything, including the fork and the knife almost. And I've seen people at these places who actually smuggle food out by sticking little pieces of cake, wrapping them around little napkins and shoving them in their jacket pocket and actually walking out with them so they can eat for later. So how good is that?